Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today it is the 1st of October. Happy spooky season, I'm so excited. I love October, it's such a great month and I love it. So we are starting a new reading vlog, if you did not know. In October, I have taken on the challenge of 31 books in 31 days. This is an idea from my relatively insane best friend, Jade. And if you don't know who Jade is, go check her out. She'll be linked in the description box down below. I don't know how you wouldn't know, to be honest. But anyway, go check her out. And we do this on the reg every year in April. 30 books in 30 days. But this year, for some reason, Jade's decided to do it in October as well. So it's 31 in 31. And I'm very excited, very prepared. I've kind of spent the last couple of days in pause mode. I have managed to finish just a couple of things, but a little bit in pause mode because I've just been so ready and raring to go with October. And I haven't wanted to start anything that I wouldn't get finished by the end of September. So we're good. We're ready to go. It's Wednesday, the 1st of October. I'm starting this reading vlog and it's probably going to go until Sunday the 12th. So this is going to be like a week and a half reading vlog. You should get at least 12 books in this vlog. You will probably get more. I will probably try and hammer out as much as I possibly can earlier on in the month. And then I can get into some longer books later on in the month. I think that's going to be my aim. However, I say that knowing full well that one of the first books I'm going to pick up for this vlog is not a short book. It's not a long book by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not a short book either. So today's plan, let me run through very quickly with you what today's plan is. I've been up since 5:30, it's currently 9 o'clock. I have edited a video for my patrons specifically. I've edited a TikTok and I have been doing a little bit of reading in the background as well while those things have been exporting. I've had some breakfast and now I'm at my computer ready and raring to go with sprints with patrons at 9:30. So myself and Jade are sharing patron sprints this month in the month of October. So our patrons are getting at least double the amount of sprints, if not more. So I would normally do Monday sprints, Magic Monday sprints. I've already done my Monday sprints this week. I'm doing extra today. So we're kicking off the 1st of October with some sprints this morning and Jade will do her usual hump day sprints this evening. So all day sprints for both of our patrons, which is very exciting for them and I hope they enjoy it. And then this evening, I'm going into Liverpool for the Lucy Jane Wood event. Now, if you haven't seen the video yet, the Ultimate Book Video Witchy Edition will have already gone up. I'll leave it linked up here and in the description box down below. I did read Uncharmed in that video and I also went to Liverpool to do a little bit of book shopping and went to the Lucy Jane Wood event. So do go and check that one out. I haven't finished filming it yet, so I don't know how good it is, but I've no doubt it'll be a good video. So please do go check it out if you haven't done so already. But I'm doing that this evening. None of that will be in this vlog. So books for this video, I am going to kick off with, I've already started actually, The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James, which is a book that I have been putting off repeatedly for years now. I started this a couple of years ago. I wasn't quite in my horror thriller era as much as I am these days, and I got halfway through and put it down. I don't know if it's that I got bored or what was going on with me, I don't know, but I put it down and I never came back to it and I kept it on my shelves, and then it was in my Patreon pot and I pulled it in August, I think it was. Zoe put it in my Patreon pot and I think I pulled it in August. And then I put it on my TBR this month for my horror bingo board. Now, this is on my horror bingo board for a book that I keep avoiding, or a book you keep putting off is the prompt specifically. And the hard mode for it is that this is the first book that you pick up for horror bingo. So I thought now would be as good a time as any to start it and just try and get it done and get through it as quickly as I possibly can. I do want to try and get through this today. I think that this book would be better enjoyed getting through it in a day. So I have already started it. I'm currently on page 49. My intention is to ramp up the audio on this. I've been listening to it on 2x speed while I've been pottering, but if I can ramp it up to 2.5 times speed and follow along with the book, I could get through it a little bit quicker. So this one is told in 2 timelines, and in 1982, we're following Viv Delaney, who finds herself in Fell. She moves to New York City. She finds herself in Fell, upstate New York, and she ends up working at the Sundown Motel as a night clerk. But something isn't right at the motel, something haunting and scary. she goes missing. And then in 2017, we're following Carly Kirk, and her aunt was Viv, and she wants to find out what happened to her aunt. So at page 49, Carly is in Fell. We've already had a couple of chapters from Viv, basically her getting to Fell, getting the job as a night clerk, and like going on about some strange goings on, the smell of smoke and, you know, lights flickering, doors banging about that are supposed to be locked, etc., etc. It seems like the hotel is probably haunted. And then we've got Carly, who has made the decision. Her mum has passed away. She's got her brother Graham, and she's made the decision to drop out of college and go try and find out what's happened to her Aunt Viv. She's absolutely livid that nobody in all the years tried to find out what happened to Viv. She just disappeared off the face of the earth like she never existed. And she's fuming that nobody tried to find out why. So we're at a point now where Carly has actually found herself a roommate. She's found herself a place to stay. She's found herself a roommate, Heather, who is also into this dark, macabre stuff and is interested in true crime stuff. So she gets straight on board with trying to help Carly out with this information with Viv. And she goes to the Sundown Motel just to check it out and see what it's about. And as it turns out, they're advertising for the night clerk job in the window. So we're at a point now where Carly's about to make the decision to go for that job. And that is where I'm up to so far. Quite atmospheric, really really interesting so far. It's the same kind of interest in the beginning that I had last time. I just don't know what happened between the beginning and the halfway point for me to put this down and not come back to it. So I would like to try and get through this today. If I continue on at 2x speed, it's going to take me 4 hours, 43 minutes. I do need to be leaving the house no later than about 3 o'clock to get into Liverpool. I'm driving in. So I could manage it on 2x speed so long as I don't fuck around too much. It does give me the opportunity on 2x speed to potter about. I want to take some Instagram photos. I need to get ready to go out later on and stuff. So I may keep it 2x speed, or I may dip in and out of you know, reading, like following along immersion reading at 2.5x speed and then whacking it back on 2x speed when I'm pottering. So we'll see what happens with that. That is my plan today, though, to get through this. And I would also like to get through a short story as well. A new collection has come out called the Scared Sexy Collection, and it is by 6 different romance authors. The first one is Hot for Slayer by Ali Hazelwood. So if I could get through that today as well, I want to just try and get ahead on numbers to start off with pretty quickly. I am also partway through Love at First Fright by Nadia El Fassi. That will be in a different video. It's going to be in my ARC vlog, which will again already be up. I'll leave a link up here and inscription box down below. But obviously during this time period, that will have been read during this time period, just not in this vlog. So just bear that in mind. But yeah, so I would like to get to, I think at least Hot for Slayer by Ali Hazelwood, but maybe Falling by Christina Lauren as well. Get 2 of those done today as well as this. That would be fantastic. But we'll see what happens with that. Maybe I could listen to one of those on my way into Liverpool. Maybe not. We'll see. I will also probably take my Kindle with me into Liverpool, so I could maybe listen to those while I'm in Liverpool. We'll see what happens, but my main focus is going to be this for today, and I would like to try and get through it, and then I've got the green light then to, I did not have to do hard mode on Horror Bingo. Again, my TBR for that will be up now, so again, I'll link it in the description box down below, but I just want to try and get through this so I don't put it off anymore. I'm sick to death of putting it off. I'm sick to death of seeing it on my shelves. So I want to try and get through it because I also have the Book of Cold Cases on my shelves as well, and I'm aware that's like another one of this theme. So that is my plan. So I'm going to get going and continue on with this, and I will check back in with you and have another update for you. I just wanted to let you know what the plan was today, what I'm kicking the month off with and this vlog off with, and I will check back in with you when I have an update for you. Hello. It is 2:52 in the afternoon. I actually could do with just whacking that on charge real quick for a boost. And I'm just finishing myself off to get ready for this Lucy Jane Wood event, and I'm so excited. But I'm here to yap about this because I finished it. The Sundown Motel, can you believe it? I can't. It is still what day is it? It is still Wednesday, and I have finished my first book. It's the 1st of October. I've finished my first book. Amazing. Who'd have thunk it? Because I wouldn't have. Really hoping that if I put makeup on my face, it's not going to look horrible. Don't wear a lot of makeup because, I'm terrible at it for starters, but also my skin is quite dry, so it ends up looking flaky and a mess. Anyway, that's not why you're here. You're not here to discuss makeup with me. The Sundown Motel, I actually really enjoyed it. We obviously had the two POVs, Viv and her, Carly and her Aunt Viv, in two different timelines, 1987 and 2012, I think it is. And this is really interesting. It's very much so like a paranormal type story. It is a mystery. It is a horror. There are times where the atmosphere came in and I felt really, really creeped out. It was very, very well done. So I really enjoyed this. I had a very good time with it, considering I DNF'd it a couple of years ago. This isn't the first time that's happened to me though, because I DNF'd The Last House on Needless Street the first time I ever picked that book up, and I gave it 5 stars the second time I picked it up. So this one I am giving 4. I really liked the characters and I really liked how the stories came together. I liked not only the main characters, Viv and Carly, who were so incredibly similar, but I actually liked the side characters as well, like Heather, and I liked Alma and Marianne and Nick. Really enjoyed Nick, actually. I liked that element to it, but I just had a very good time with it and I just really enjoyed it. The atmosphere was really good. It was very creepy and it gave me the heebie-jeebies on a couple of times, so I just really had a good time with it and I thought it was very well done. I really like Simone's writing style. This is obviously like the second book that I've given 4 stars from her. It's the second book I've picked up from her as well. I know I've got Broken Girls on my Kindle that I've had on my Kindle for a really long time and never made the connection that it was the same author. I don't know why I didn't make that connection, but I never did. And I have the Book of Cold Cases on my shelves as well, and I would like to give that a read at some point, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. I had a very good time. I'm proud of myself for picking this one up first, actually. I could have allowed this to sit on my shelves even longer or save it towards the end of the month with the bullshit excuse that I wanted to try and get ahead on some books first, and then later on in the month pick up some bigger books, including that one. However, it was just over 300 pages. It's like 326 pages, and it was a pretty quick read. It went by quite fast. I don't know what happened the first time I read it. Maybe I just wasn't as in my horror and mystery era as I am now. Maybe it was dragging for me. Maybe I was just in the wrong headspace. I'm not sure what happened. I just did not enjoy it the first time I tried to pick this book up, but I really liked it this time round, and I'm really glad I gave it another chance and kept it on my shelves. I think it's because I didn't really have an actual real reason for DNFing it. I just put it back on my shelves and never picked it back up again. So there is that. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I had a good time. And I can't believe that my first book is done. And it wasn't a smallish book either. So very proud of myself for actually prioritising that, because it's actually on my TBR as well for the month of October. So I'm really happy about that. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to move on to next. I'm going to take my Kindle with me into the city, and if I get the chance to do so, potentially do a bit of reading in the city. I will need to grab some tea while I'm in there. So maybe I'll be able to find somewhere that won't be too busy and maybe I can do a little bit of reading. We'll see. I want to try and get one of those short stories done, but I also want to listen to some music after listening to this book non-stop since this morning. I want to listen to a bit of music on the way into Liverpool, so I'm going to do that. I have also decided, somebody said that they like to do the horror, they like to, with challenges like this, do like a short story collection. They start at the beginning of the month and pretty much end at the end of the month, or one a day until the book ends. And it reminded me that I have a collection that I could do that with, and it is The Black Girl Survives in this one, edited by Desiree S. Evans, and that text is not great. Who else? Sarah Sia J. Fennell. And this has a collection of, I think it's 15 short stories with a foreword by Tanana Reeve Dew, Struggles. So I have started this a while ago, actually, probably last October. I've read the foreword and I've read the first short story, which was by L.L. McKinney, which was really, really good, called Harvesters. And what I remember from this one was that there's a group of friends, I think, that go into I don't know if it's like a cornfield or something, and then slowly but surely they start losing each other and end up being tricked, I think. I don't know by what, but they end up being tricked, and it ends incredibly, like, inconspicuous. I actually loved that one. I really, really enjoyed it. I remember vividly enjoying that one because I wanted more from it, and I really wished that it was like a novella rather than just a short story. So I really did enjoy that one. I had a very good time with it, and yeah, I just thought that maybe I could read one of those, maybe not every single day, but just like get me through to the end of the month and it's another book done, but I'm reading it in the background. So the next short story is by Courtney Nash, who I've never read anything from before, and it says, "Welcome back to the cosmos." Can't give you any synopses on any of these, obviously, because I don't know. Is there any authors that I have read from before in here? There isn't, which is terrible. I do have Vincent Torrado on my TBR twice. We Don't Swim Here and We Came to Welcome You. And I have Eden Royce on my TBR as well with a middle grade, Root Magic. But other than that, I haven't... Have I read from Decca Herman? Can't remember, but otherwise, bloody terrible. But maybe I can find some new authors to read from, potentially. So, anyway, I need to start getting a move on because it is currently 3 o'clock and I need to set off. My car park is booked for 4. I just hope I look okay. I feel like I did my hair maybe just a little bit too early and it's dropping out a bit, but unfortunately, it is what it is. There's not much I can do with that. So I'm going to pack you up. I'm going to pack my books up and I'm going to get a shufty on. So I will check in with you probably tomorrow, let you know what else I did read, if anything else. And yeah, I'll let you know what the plan is tomorrow. So I will check back in with you then. Good morning. It's 8:46. It is Thursday the 2nd of October. And I had a great time at the event last night. If you haven't seen my Ultimate Book video, Lucy Jane Wood edition, feel free to go and check it out. Again, I'll link it in the description box down below. But speaking of below, I've started a new book. I started this yesterday while I was having some food in spoons for my tea last night because I'm nothing if not basic. Love a good spoons tea. I know exactly what I'm getting with spoons, that's the thing. I struggle to venture into new places, especially on my own, because I don't know what I'm getting, and I'm a creature of habit, okay? So, I started Below by Laurel Hightower yesterday in spoons, and I did get to, actually I read a little bit more when I got in last night, but I got to page 30 overall yesterday. This is a novella. It's about 115 pages in length. And I've read from Laurel Hightower before. I have read Crossroads and enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. This one, I actually have no idea what the fuck is going on with this book. So the synopsis is, how far would you go to help a stranger? While driving through the mountains of West Virginia during a late night snowstorm, a recently divorced woman experiences bizarre electrical problems, leaving her with little choice but to place her trust with a charismatic truck driver. But when an unexplainable creature with haunting red eyes gets between them, she is forced to make one of the toughest decisions of her life. Will she abandon the stranger who kept her safe, or will she climb down below where reality has shifted into a living nightmare? Okay, so 30 pages in, all of that has happened so far. So we have Addie, who she is recently divorced, as mentioned. She keeps banging on about Brian, her ex-husband, and about how much he used to kind of control what she was doing with her life and how she would make decisions and stuff like that, and she hated it. And she's trying to get out of that mentality, but every now and then she can hear his voice in her head. And she's on her way to her friends, I think. I don't know if she's like celebrating the divorce or something. I'm not sure. But she's on her way to her friends and she's ended up stuck in this snowstorm that has just started. She finds herself, basically, while she's on the road, there's a truck in the middle of the road, like a van, a blue van, and there's a man stood in the middle of the road, like grinning at her. And she almost crashes the car. But when she then stops at the truck stop a little bit further up so that she can calm down and kind of shake it off before she gets going again, she ends up coming across this guy called Mads, who is a truck driver. Obviously we didn't know at the time because she'd completely blanked out on what had happened in that situation. He was actually like side by side on the road with her and she nearly crashed into him when this happened with the van driver. So he ends up yapping on to her, checking that she's all right. He can clearly see that she's very shaken up about it and he's very careful with how he's approaching her. He can see that she's very, she's kind of wary of him and maybe got lacking in trust in people. So he's very wary of that and he's very conscious of it and he is approaching her almost like a deer in headlights a little bit. So then she eventually gets back in the car. He kind of encourages her to get back in the car despite the snowstorm that's coming because he says this isn't really a place late on at night. This isn't a place where you could really stay safely. So you're probably better off just getting back in your car. So she gets back in the car. Immediately there's an electrical problem. Before she's even got in the car and started the car up, she opens the door. Static comes out of the car with a really high-pitched whirring noise. And then Mads she's in the car, Mads kind of appears, not right next to the car, he's stepped away, but he wants to check in on her, make sure she's all right. Ends up giving her this, is it a CB radio or something? The ones where they can yap to each other with a thing. One of those. Truck drivers have them built into the truck. He ends up giving her a wireless one that she can stick in the cigarette lighter so that she can communicate with him. She's not on the road on her own. And she ends up following him. So along they go. And then he ends up saying to her over the radio, he's halfway through a story here, he ends up saying to her, can you see that? Have you seen that? And then before you know it, the truck's jackknifing. She's trying to stop her car. And the truck has gone over this bridge and has fallen. She's heard Mads screaming and then it's gone kind of quiet and there's a bit of static. But then she's trying to get Mads' attention. She does try to ring 911. There's no signal. There's some electrical shit going on with the car again. The car won't start. So she can't get out and go and get some help. Do you know what I mean? She can't go off or back to the truck stop, go and get some help. So there's a lot of things going down here that are reducing her options. Either, she can't even leave because the car won't start. So she ends up hearing some static through the radio, shouts for Mads, and he replies, Addy. And she says it doesn't sound like him, but he's been in an accident, so it might not sound like him. And she makes the decision to go below. And that's the point at which I'm at. She started going down the side of this mountain or whatever the hell it is, wherever the hell they are, but she has already seen something stood in the middle of the road with these red eyes, and I'm interested to see where this is going to go. I think it's going to be really, really creepy. I do have work today, so I've got time to fit in maybe 20 minutes of reading before I need to set off. I'm currently exporting the ultimate book video so that I can upload that while I'm at work, but I've probably got about 20 minutes in which I can make some more progress in this. I would like to finish this today, and then so I'll probably try and finish it when I get home from work, so I won't get it finished in these 20 minutes. And then I think I'm going to continue on with Love at First Fright, which again won't be in this vlog. It's going to be in the ARC vlog, which again I think will already be up at this point. Yeah, that's going up, and then this goes up the following the following Friday this goes up. So yeah, that will already be up. Again, I'll link it in the description box down below. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to finish below. I might even try and do a graphic novel or the Ali Hazelwood Hot for Slayers, whatever the fuck it's called. I might try and do that maybe later as well, just to get myself ahead. It was my goal yesterday and I just didn't get a chance to do it because I'd focused on the Sundown Motel and I was prioritising that, which is fine. So yeah, I'm hoping to get some reading in tomorrow, but I've got to take the car into the garage, so we'll see how that goes. I've got to try and get these updates short and sweeter, shorter and sweeter, because this vlog is going to be a really long vlog otherwise, if every single update is going to be 6 to 10 minutes. So I've got to start doing these short. But anyway, that's what I'm reading. I'm currently continuing on with Below, and I just wanted to come on and let you know that that was what I was getting into before I finish it. and come to you and say, by the way, I've finished another book. So I'm going to go because I want to try and get like 15-20 minutes of reading in before I set off for work today. And I will check back in with you later. Hello. It is 6:57 on Thursday. It's the same day as it was in the previous clip. My God, that plant has grown. I'm home from work. I'm so tired. I got up way too early today and I'm so tired. It's been such a long day. Firstly, I wanted to come on. Let's try and keep this clip short. Firstly, I wanted to come on and show you my fleece from Stitch. I'm obsessed. It's got a silly goose on it with a Halloween sweater on. Just a stripy orange and black sweater with a ghosty on it. How fucking cute is that? From Stitch. I'll leave a link to Katrina's shop in the description box down below. I do have an affiliate code. I make a little bit of commission, but it also supports a small business. So if you wanted to go and check her out, please feel free to do so. Also, Tara put my hair in a couple of braids to make it easier to do my hair on Saturday when we go to the wedding. So I came on to let you know I have started another book. I didn't make any more progress in below earlier on this morning. I actually had to get my shit together for work, like actually get my stuff together for work, and then set off. So I didn't actually read anything this morning. I may try another chapter or so in bed later, but I'm actually so fucking tired. Don't even know if I'm going to make it. So I started Hot for Slayer by Ali Hazelwood, which is one of the short stories from the Scared Sexy collection. And the synopsis for this is long. When a vampire slayer loses all his memories, the only person who can help him is the vampire he's tried to kill for centuries. When Ethelthrith, I think that's how he's pronounced it, Ethel, to her modern-day Manhattan neighbours, finds her sworn nemesis, Laszlo Enyedi, with no memory of who or what they are, an ancient hunt becomes an unexpected chance at forbidden passion. He's crashing on her couch, solving her Sudoku puzzles and looking at her like she's his eternal flame, minus the whole bursting into ashes part. As his memories slowly return, Ethel realises she might be in danger of losing more than just her head. Ethel is a vampire and Laszlo is a slayer. And we've just had the first chapter and listened to the audiobook for this. I didn't realise that it was going to be in duet narration. So I was very surprised when a man's voice came on for the first speaking part. But so far, enjoying it. It's going well. And yeah, it's 2 hours and 42 minutes in total. And I have it on 2.2 times speed. I might bump that up. So I've got just over an hour to go on this. So in fact, let's bump that up to 2.25. I've got an hour and 5 minutes to go on this. So yeah, I'm going to try and get through as much of this as I can before Andy gets home. I'm hoping I might be able to finish it before he gets home. If he nips to his mum's, I will. And if I stop faffing, I will. So yeah, I'm going to read that, and that's going to be my book for today, because I won't get below. There's no way I'll get below finished, but I might be able to make a chapter or two more progress later on in bed. But I'm so fucking tired, honestly. I want my tea and I want to go to bed. I'm so tired. So just wanted to come on, let you know that I was reading that, just to at least get me through another book for the day, for the month. So I'm still on track with 2 books in 2 days. But yeah, hopefully tomorrow I'll make a bit more progress. I can finish below. I might do another one of the short stories and then try and get as far as I possibly can with Love at First Fright. But I've also got to take the car to the garage, so I don't know how possible that will be. But if I can at least get below finished and maybe do another one of these short stories, that would be great to take me into the weekend, because Saturday I'm not going to have any time to do any reading at all. Like, this is literally a whole day thing. So yeah, and then there's a race on Sunday, so there's only so much reading I'll be able to do on Sunday. But yeah, I am going to go carry on with this. I just wanted to let you know what my plan was and show you my silly goose fleece, and I'm really, really buzzing about it. I'm actually obsessed with this. It's so comfortable and so warm, and it's got pockets, and I'm so excited. Katrina, you've done it again, girl. I love you. Good morning. It is Sunday, the 5th of, I need to double check that because I've just said that on my TikTok. Yes, the 5th of October. Yesterday I was at a wedding. I didn't film anything at the wedding. My sister-in-law got a couple of clips of us dancing, but otherwise it was just pictures. So, yeah, I'll show a couple of pictures on screen of us at the wedding, but it was a fun time was had. And yeah, today I have made the decision to stay home. Andy's just gone out, he's going to go and visit his mum, he's going to nip to my brother's. We left a sweater there and a pair of shoes there because we got ready there yesterday morning to help him out with the kids in the morning, because Tara was a bridesmaid for said wedding, she wasn't around in the morning to help him out. So we went round and got ready there and just left a couple of bits there, and then he's nipping to the supermarket to get food in for our Sunday dinner today. So the race is on at 1 o'clock, so I'm hoping he will be back for that. It's currently 10 to 10, it's cowboy time, so I'm going to try and get some reading in. But I do have a couple of reading updates for you. So the first thing that I have to update you on, because I think the last thing I updated you on was Hot for Slayer. I'm fairly certain that's the last thing I updated you on. I actually don't know what the last thing was that I updated you on. Did I tell you my rating for Hot for Slayer? I can't remember. If I did, I'll cut this part out, but if I didn't, my rating for Hot for Slayer ended up being, I think it was 3.5 stars. I didn't hate it, but it was fine. I love me a good something crossed with something Slayer. So whether it be a witch versus witch Slayer, or whether it's vampire versus vampire Slayer, which this was vampire and vampire Slayer, I love that. I love it. But this for me was just a little bit too short. I felt a little bit too flat. The romance was very, very quick. I don't know if I necessarily love romance novellas when it's not already an established relationship. So I love a romance novella that follows on from a book that I've already read, and I'm already aware of the characters. Maybe they've been some side characters in another book or something like that. I love that because I'm already aware of them. I know their history, etc., etc. But I seem to struggle with new romances where we're meeting the characters for the first time and the book is 90 pages long. Just doesn't work out so well for me. The horror works out a lot better for me, and I wish I had a horror anthology instead. I am going to continue on with this, but yeah, I didn't love it. 3.5 stars. Then I moved on to Falling by Christina Lauren. This one was a fallen angel of sorts. A girl goes to a Halloween party with a boyfriend, but she's ready to break up with said boyfriend that evening before she even goes to the party, and then he turns up and he's gone completely different with their outfit than what they planned. They planned on a his and hers outfit and he went completely different. So they get to the party, he immediately leaves her to go and find the boys. She disappears upstairs to go find a toilet. And she ends up catching the eye of this guy who then wants to know more about her. And he has this way of being able to kind of like say something across the room and you can hear it in your head, and then you know, turn around and look at me or something and you'll just do it. Without even thinking about it, you'll just do it. Persuasion, I suppose it's called. But it doesn't seem to work on her as much. So anyway, she goes to the bathroom. When she comes out, he's there. They end up yapping along, they end up sleeping together, and then they end up having a conversation. She ends up following him out. She texts her boyfriend, says that she wants to break up, it's not working out so well, and he literally doesn't give a shit, and they leave. And they end up having a conversation. She ends up finding out what he is. That's it. 56 pages, I think. Didn't like this one too much. 2.5 stars. It was fine. Again, I just wasn't invested. I wasn't invested. It would probably make a great novel or even a novella, but as a short story, it's just not working out too well. So, made the decision to stop on that series so far. It's another one to have. It's a good one to have in my back pocket if I'm starting to fall behind with my 31 books in 31 days. I then moved on to Below by Laurel Hightower. Now this, I read Crossroads by Laurel Hightower earlier on this year, I think, and I decided to pick up Below. On her way down, though, weird shit starts happening. She starts to see, like, this creepy white skeletal hand that only has 4 fingers reaching out for her and stuff. She sees this thing with red eyes, and it's all very, very... I've got chills now just thinking about it. Very, very atmospheric, very, very creepy, very, very frightening. I read it at night. Mistakes may have been made. I luckily didn't have a nightmare, so that is good. Andy was checking in with me to make sure I'd not had a nightmare because I told him I was reading it. Anyway, I predicted the first thing that would happen with this, with the guy at the bottom. I predicted that. I knew that was coming, but it still scared the shit out of me, regardless. I read the rest of it, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was very creepy, incredibly atmospheric. I loved Addie. I was, like, really rooting for her. I think some of the stuff she did was really dumb shit, and I was like, she's a horror fiend, and she should know better. Regardless, though, I was very interested in her. And again, this is another one of Laurel Hightower's that's kind of left open-ended a little bit, if you like. It's not tied up neatly with a bow, and I usually hate that. I don't mind it as much in horror novellas, to be honest, which this is, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4.5 stars. I had a very good time with it. So that's another Laurel Hightower that I've really enjoyed, and I think I should be reaching out, picking up more from her. So I have then decided that I will pick up another horror book. I'm like super into my horror right now. I've gone for an arc, actually, and I've decided to pick up 8114 by Joshua Hull. I got 11% into this last night, and the synopsis for this, let's check the synopsis out because I can't remember the full ins and outs. We are following Paul, who is a podcaster, and he makes about to look for Paul on Amazon to give you the fucking synopsis of this book. That's the name of the character, you idiot. This comes out on the 9th, by the way, so it will be out by the time this vlog goes up, but I'm hoping to have it finished by then. It's only 235 pages long. But this is following Paul, who's a podcaster, and he's made a real fuck up on this podcast that he's been doing. And he makes the decision to take some time out and go back to his hometown. Well, he's got a phone call from one of his best friends that he needs to come back to town urgently. So he goes back to his hometown to find out what the fuck is going on. And discovers a long-time friend has committed suicide in the dilapidated ruins of Paul's childhood home. Desperate to find answers, Paul interviews friends and locals, hoping to find closure. He finds himself in a chilling downward spiral of his memories and the land he grew up on. Has his past caught up with him, or is there something far more sinister at play? So I'm really interested in this. Joshua Hull is the screenwriter of Glorious, which is, I don't know what that is actually, but brings an edge of horror film expertise to this story of small town haunting, trauma and grief that just won't let go. This started off with a podcast episode, and it was really interesting to start that way. And then we've gotten into Paul coming back to town. So I'm not into the creepiness yet. I'm up to chapter 3, but so far it's going all right. So this is the next one that I have decided to go for, and we'll see whether or not I get through this today. I am aiming to get through Love at First Fright today by Nadia El Fassi, but there is also The Race, so I really need to get to it because Andy has just gone out for a couple of hours, so I've got a couple of hours to spare now to get some reading done. Part of me doesn't know whether to focus on 8114 or whether to focus on Love at First Fright, but I probably should go back to Love at First Fright. So yeah, that's in a separate reading vlog. I've already mentioned that a million times in this video, but that's in a separate reading vlog. So yeah, so far, so good. This video is going to be so fucking long because I can't stop yapping. And I don't know whether to make apologies for that or not. I'm going to try and come back and make shorter updates. The thing is, this clip has probably been cut down quite a bit because I've probably repeated myself quite a bit on a couple of those books. Regardless, I had some updates to give you. So that's where we're at. We are on track. I am currently 4 books in. We're on day 5. So if I can finish another book today, we're all gravy. So that is great news. So yeah, that's where I'm up to. So I'm going to go get some reading in, and I will give you an update when I've got something to update you on. Okay, hello. It is Monday, the 6th of October, and I'm here to give you a little reading update. I am on sprints with Jade. I've been at work today at my dad's, and then this evening I've been doing some sprints with Jade. We started at 5:30. It's currently 20 to 9. So reading update is that I started this evening Mayfly by CJ Lead, and I was really excited about this one. This is following Maeve, who works in daytime at a theme park. Think Disney, think Elsa. She works as a princess, ice princess at a theme park during the day, and in the evening she goes to like this dive bar and just reads her book until she meets her best friend's brother, Gideon Green, and he moves to town and he awakens something dangerous within her, and the world she knows suddenly shifts beneath her feet and shit starts to get weird. Now, I went into this thinking it was going to be one thing, but it's something completely different to that. I made it to page 36, and I made it here. Something really fucking weird happened in the chapter before the chapter that I'd finished on. And it was way too bizarre for me. This book is really fucking weird. And then I found a couple of reviews on Goodreads that kind of mention what goes on in here, and I'm not about that. I'm not here for it. I thought this was going to be like female rage wanting to kick a door off its hinges because of the shit that she goes through, and she, you know, turns into the villain, but in the best way possible. I thought it was going to be that kind of thing. I don't think that is going to be the case with this book, and I am not here for it. I do not want it. I don't like it.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. But I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
So, I've made the decision to DNF this book, and that's all I'm going to say on it. It's just not for me, I don't think. I was going to see if Jade wanted to try it, but I read the review to her that put me off the book, and she was like, nah, I don't want any part of that. And I was like, okay, fair. So, that will be an unhaul. We've DNF'd it. That's fine. I then made the decision, because I was on 4 books and it's currently the 6th, so I was running behind. I made the decision to pick up one of my comics, and I picked up Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees by Patrick Horvath. And this one is following Sam, who is a bear. She lives in a small town called Woodbrook, and she is a serial killer. However, she doesn't kill the people of Woodbrook. She actually goes into the city to get people, and then brings them back to Woodbrook, where she does the killing in the forest, in the trees. So, unfortunately, something happens one day where a local ends up being killed, and then another local ends up being killed, and it looks like there's a serial killer in town. Now, Sam is panicking because not only are the locals being killed, but also this could unearth her secret. So she now needs to find out who this other killer in town is. And this was really gory. I will say it was very, very gory, incredibly graphic, a little bit weird in the middle, some weird shit went down, but it was good. It did exactly what it said on the tin, I suppose, which is hilarious if you read this, but I kind of liked it. I gave it 3.5 stars. It was vile. It was brutal. It was gory. It was Dexter as a bear. I don't know what to say, except for the fact that Dexter's killing bad people, Samantha's killing random people from town that actually don't appear to be bad people at all, but alas. It was fine. A fun-ish time was had. I don't know how to explain myself. 3.5 stars. I've read it. I'm now 5 books down in 6 days. So, I'm kind of in the mood for an audiobook, but honestly, this has fucked me up, because that's what I was going to pick up for my audiobook next. And now I'm in one of those situations where I was really looking forward to it, and I actually thought I was going to love it, that it's kind of messed me up a little bit, because that's what I was aiming to read next. So I don't know where to go from here as far as the audiobook is concerned, but I can go back to 8114 by Joshua Hull. I read a little bit yesterday, but not too much. We started watching Lioness. So good. We watched the whole of season 1 last night, as well as the first episode of season 2. But obviously Andy is on his weird fucking shifts now this week, so we're going to have to kind of dip in and out of that before he goes to work in the morning. So, like tomorrow, for example, we have a meeting with the DJ, a Zoom call about 10 o'clock, and then I have my first shift in the pub. I've taken on some shifts in my local pub. So I start my first shift tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So I've got a couple of hours at the pub tomorrow, and then he goes to work. Well, he's got work at 3. He will have probably left before I do, actually, for work. So, yeah. That's where we're at. So we'll probably try and watch another episode tomorrow before he goes to work, in between our Zoom call and him either going to work first or me going to work first. But I did make it to 21% into 8114. So I might just carry on with this for a little bit. And if I'm not feeling the physical reading this evening, I will try and pick up another audiobook. I just don't know what to pick up. My problem is, I like to read my thrillers and my horrors in one sitting, if at all possible. And there's quite a few that I could do in one sitting. So then I need to try and find something that I can read over a couple of days, maybe, that I won't then, it won't affect my rating of the book. I like to read my horrors and thrillers in one sitting because it means that I enjoy the book a lot more than I do if I read it over a couple of days, because I'm in it, you know, I'm in the intensity, I'm in the atmosphere, I'm like really, really in it, I'm living the book. So I'm kind of at a point where I just don't know what to pick up. I do have a couple of like seasonal romances that I could get to. I've got Soul Searching by Lila Sage, and I've also got what else was I thinking of? Taurus Season by Bryn Weaver. I have those. I've got Kindling by Bonnie Woods that I could also get to. I've got a bunch, to be fair. I could do a witchy read, but I'm just in the mood for like horror right now, or thrillers. So if I can just make some more progress in 8114, I will probably just do that for the rest of the evening, and then tomorrow maybe start a new audiobook. I might start something in the morning before my meeting, unless we're watching an episode of Lioness, and then continue it on until I go to the pub, and then carry on reading that into the evening and finish something else tomorrow. I think that's what I might do. It might drag it out throughout the day. I do prefer to read thrillers and horrors in one sitting, but if it's in one day, that's fine. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I also might even start the audiobook for this. This is a non-fiction about how the Scream films rewrote the rules of horror. So I may even start the audiobook for this, and I can just keep picking it up throughout the month and then have it finished by the end of the month. We'll see. But anyway, I'm going to go because this has been yet another longer update. So yeah, I am going to continue on with 8114 and see how far I can get through that before I go to bed. And then if I pick something else up, I'll let you know, or put it in some B-roll and then tell you about it tomorrow. So I'm going to go, and I'll speak to you then. Hello, good afternoon. It is, what day is today? Tuesday. I'm hoping to make this a quickish update. I have some book mail to show you. And I need to get going. I have my first shift at the pub this afternoon. It's currently 20 to 2. I start at 2 o'clock. It's literally like across the road. So it won't take me too long to get there, but I do need to tie my hair up and grab my hoodie out of the car, etc. So try and make this quick as I possibly can. So my pre-order of The Christmas Fling by Lindsay Kelk came in, which I'm excited about. Obviously, it's a Christmas book. Won't be reading this in October, but I'm excited for my pre-order nonetheless. I have about 3, oh no, her last 3, including the witchy one that I haven't read yet. So I need to catch up really. And then my order from Books Please did come in. If you didn't know, I do have an affiliate code for Books Please. They are a company that ship reasonably priced books already discounted, and then you can get an extra 5% off, I think it is, with my affiliate code. I do earn a little bit of commission. I will leave a link to them and my code in the description box down below if you wanted to check them out. But I do use them quite regularly now. Their shipping times are longer than you may be used to with the likes of Amazon maybe, but their books always come in really good condition, and if you wanted a book cover from somewhere else, they usually do it. So I can tend to get some US books while still being in the UK, which is fantastic and what I use them for the most part. But I have ordered 4 books. So I've ordered a manga, a graphic novel, a romance, and a horror. So the manga is Aria of the Beach Forest Volume 3. This is the third and final volume of this series. I have enjoyed the series. I've not loved it, but I've enjoyed it. And I was actually yapping on with some patrons last night about this one because somebody said that they'd finished it and they couldn't believe it was the last of the series. And I was like, I'm sure this was on my wish list, and I completely forgotten that I'd ordered it from Books Please. So yay for that. That's something that I can read this month. Also, Beetle and the Chimera Caraval by Eliza Lane. I loved Beetle and the Hollowpox, and I'm really excited to have this one because I had such a good time with Beetle and Hollowpox. So again, very autumnal, perfect graphic novel for this time of year. So I'll probably end up getting to that during October as well. Then the romance that I did pick up was The Princess and the PI by Nikki Payne. This cover is absolutely stunning and is the reason why I've picked this book up. It does say an amateur online sleuth must enlist the help of jaded PI to clear her name in this exhilarating romantic suspense novel. It sounds fun. I could actually possibly pick this up this month as well, with it being romantic suspense. Maybe I could pick this up too. But look how stunning that cover is. So I did get myself a copy of that one. Again, it's from Berkeley. So this is the US copy, which means that it's very floppy. And then last but by no means least, I got myself a copy of Fantastic Land by Mike Bokoven. I don't know. This is a horror. Get ready for a struggle for survival in the unlikeliest of places. Prepare to visit Fantastic Land. Fantastic Land is a modern take on Lord of the Flies meets Battle Royale in a that probes the consequences of social civilization built online. Nice. It's less than 300 pages as well. I believe that this has got some mixed media in it too, so that's exciting. And I do, it's done with interviews. And I do have this on my horror bingo board as well, which is why I wanted to get myself a physical copy. I've heard nothing but good things about this one, so I'm very excited about reading it. And it's a shorty patorti, so again, I could get to this in October, which is very exciting. So those are the 4 books that I did get from Books Please. So again, if you wanted to check them out, I would highly recommend. They are the sister website of SciFier, who I use quite a lot for manga as well. Gavin also has a code for SciFier, so if you wanted to get a discount on SciFier, I'll leave Gav's code in the description box down below. So, you know, got you covered on both SciFier and Books Please via myself and Gavin if you were interested. But I recommend both websites. They're both very, very good. So yeah, just wanted to let you know of the little haul and the fact that I'm now going to go to work for my first shift at the pub. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit nervous. I really am. I'm quite anxious. So we'll see how this goes. I'm hoping it's a good fit. I'm hoping that I haven't forgotten how to pull a pint. It's like riding a bike, I suppose. I'm not likely to forget how to do it. It's just been probably 10 years since, actually it's probably been more than that. It's probably been 15 years since I last pulled a pint. So I was definitely in my early 20s, late teens, early 20s when I was working behind a bar. So yeah, it's been like 15 years since I last pulled a pint. So we'll see how that goes. But I need to get myself ready and get off to work, make sure I'm not late on my first day. So I will check back in with you when I get home, let you know what it is that I've decided to settle on for reading, because I am struggling to settle on something at the moment, which is concerning. I'm dipping in and out of Black Girl Survives in this one, which is an anthology. I'm dipping in and out of that. I've read another couple of stories out of that. So I am dipping in and out of stuff, but I don't seem to be able to get stuck on something at the moment, which is concerning. So hopefully maybe I can change that later on. If not, I might try a graphic novel just to bump myself back up again. I'm on 5 books read. Today's day 7, so we'll see what happens with that. But I'll check back in with you later when I get home and let you know how my shift goes and all of that good stuff. And I will see you in a little bit. Okay, hello. I'm hoping that the mic's okay. It won't, the magnet won't fit through my top. Anyway, it is Thursday the 9th of October. It's been a couple of days since I updated you. I have edited the vlog up until this point because I needed to know what I've been saying. I have been struggling a little bit trying to fixate on a book, and I therefore have been losing my way a little bit with my reading updates for you. So I have a couple of things to update you on. I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet if I can, because this vlog is already relatively long. So I didn't update you when I did my unboxing in the previous clip. I didn't update you on 8114. I did in the end get to 25% of that book before DNFing it. So I had Mayfly and 8114 DNFs back to back with Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees in the middle. This book had just gotten... I just couldn't figure out how I was feeling about it. At the beginning, it was fine. It was building up to something, but it was taking a little bit too long for it to build up. Paul is a little bit of a dick, and I'm not a fan of his at all. He made this fumble with the original podcast with somebody, and then he was about to start another one about his friend that had killed himself in Paul's old house. He goes back to visit the house, and he cuts himself on a tree branch, and then something starts to grow out of it, and the description of, like, the body horror description of it and the botanical horror mixed in with the body horror, it just was too much for me. It was way too descriptive for me, and it freaked me out. So I put the book down at that point. Jade might even try this one because she may like it better than me, potentially. I don't know. So I did end up DNFing that, but it wasn't what I hoped it was going to be. And I'm really sad about it. I'm actually really gutted about it. So yeah, I have DNF'd that one. Then I went on to Aria and the Beach Forest Volume 3. So the day that this came in, which was Tuesday evening, I ended up picking this one up. My shift at the pub, by the way, was fantastic, and I had a really good time, and I'm actually going back again tomorrow, Friday evening. So I then picked this up when I got back from the pub, and this is the third and final volume in this series. And honestly, I actually think that this could have been dragged out 2 volumes, like 2 more volumes on top of this one. I think this could have been like a 5-volume series, in all honesty. I'm a little bit sad that it kind of feels rushed. There is a lot going on in here, but it feels like it's been rushed to get to the end of the series, and I don't think that was necessary. So I did end up giving this one 3 stars. I didn't love it. I didn't love this series as a whole, to be fair, but I thought that this would be more Halloween-y than it was, based on the cover, and it wasn't. Halloween was in here for literally like a handful of pages, and that's it. So it is what it is, but I've finished the series, so there's also that as well. But yeah, I'm sad about it. So that's come in, and I've read it straight away. And then last night I ended up doing patron sprints for Hump Day. Jade was very unwell. She had a migraine. So I ended up taking over Hump Day sprints yesterday and doing those last night with patrons when I got in from work. And I did start We Live Here Now by Sarah Pinborough. I have been very excited about reading this one. I've heard really good things. This one is following Emily and Freddie, and Emily had an accident where she fell off the side of a cliff and she ended up in a coma. I don't fully know the ins and outs of exactly what happened to her with the accident, but she ended up in a coma. She has now woken up, and Freddie has sold the house in London and has decided that they are going to move to Devon, and they've ended up buying this lodge called Larkin Lodge. And when they get there, Emily is feeling very uncomfortable in the house. She feels like there is some strange things going on. She can hear some noises, there's strange drafts, she's seeing things, etc., etc. And it all seems to happen when Freddie isn't around. So Freddie is thinking that this is all to do, she had sepsis, and there is some things that come along with that afterwards, some side effects of hallucinations and things like that, and he's convinced that it's due to the sepsis that she's had. So he will, on occasion phone the doctor and be like, oh yeah, she's seeing and hearing things, blah, blah, blah. But it's really creepy. We're also getting the dual POV. So for the most part, it's from Emily, but on occasion we get a POV from Freddie. She's been keeping secrets from him. We know the secrets she's kept from him pretty early on in the book, but we've only not long since found out what Freddie's secret is. I predicted what it was going to be, but I'm not disappointed by that fact. I did doubt myself for a second, but I'm not disappointed by it. So it's really interesting, and I'm intrigued to see where this goes now, because I think we're getting to a point where Freddie might be starting to hear and see some of the things as well, but he's convincing himself that it's Emily, and he's convincing himself that Emily's fucking insane. So it's interesting, and I'm having a good time so far. I did make it to page 193 last night, and I'm excited to continue on with this. I have about an hour and a half of the audiobook left, so I'm going to finish that today. I'm doing pretty much not quite all day sprints today with patrons. I'm starting at 1:30. It is currently 11:44, so I'm starting at 1:30. I'm going to go pretty late into the evening, I think. Andy has got work at 3, so I don't know what time he'll be setting off, to be honest, but yeah, so I'm going to finish this and then move on to something else. I haven't yet decided what that is going to be, but I do have an idea of a book in mind. But I will let you know when I come back and give you an update on this, because I feel like I keep telling you I'm going to move on to something and then maybe don't. Or I start it and then find that it's just not sticking. It's easier for me if I get what I'll probably do is finish this, get a reasonable way into that book, and my next book, and once I'm happy with it, I'll come back and update you, give you my review on this, and then let you know what I've moved on to, just to make things easier for myself, but also make it less complicated for you guys, because I feel like I'm all over the fucking place. At the end of this vlog, I will give you a wrap up on exactly what I've read, but also how many books in I am and on what date, because so far, right now, I am 6 books in, and today is the 9th, so I am behind by 3 books. I will get this finished today, and I may be able to finish one more other thing, but I am tempted to maybe do a shorty patootie in between the two, just to get myself back up again, because obviously tomorrow then I am back in the pub. I will get something read in the evening, but probably nothing before going to work at 2. So that's where I'm up to. That is my update. DNF of 8114. I did read Area of the Beach Forest Volume 3, and I'm now currently reading We Live Here Now. So it's going all right so far. I feel like this vlog is quite chaotic. I haven't really done any B-roll, and it's just been update after update after update, but none of it consistent. So I do apologise for that. I will do my best to try and be consistent from this point on. But yeah, I'm excited for sprints this afternoon and to hang out with patrons for the day, and actually have a day of reading as well, because I haven't had that yet this week. So it'll be nice to have a day of uninterrupted reading. That will be lush. So again, I was hoping for the same thing tomorrow, but I'm now working at the pub, which is absolutely fine. So yeah, I'm going to go and I'm going to get myself some food, actually, I think, because I'm starving. And I will check back in with you when I've finished We Live Here Now and when I've started something else. Okay, hello, I am back. It's currently 3 o'clock. Sprints are going, we're on our second sprint, and I have finished We Live Here Now by Sarah Pinborough. I really enjoyed this. This was very, very good. I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. I think the atmosphere in this was fantastic, and I think that the element of both of our narrators being quite unreliable. Actually, we had 3 narrators in this, but the 2 main narrators being quite unreliable with the lies that they both have and the secrets that they've both got really added to the atmosphere of this. Thought it was very, very, very cleverly done. It wasn't completely tied up with a neat bow, but I really just enjoyed it. I had a very good time with it, and I thought it was fantastic. So 4.5 stars for this one. So glad that I ended up picking this one up, and I had a really good time with it. The audiobook was very good as well. And I have decided to move on to something else that I have started. I've not gotten too far in. This is going to be like a totally out of left field pick for me, but I've been thinking about it for a while, like a good couple of months now, thinking about picking it up, and then I just keep convincing myself not to do so, because I think I thought it was something it's not. And then last night, actually the night before last night, on Tuesday night, I was doom scrolling on my phone and came across a book talker who had some of the audio from this book that they were like miming, and I was like, this sounds so good, but it was actually from book 3 in the series, and I was like, listen, I think I'm gonna have to pick this series up, because it's been on my mind for a while now. So I have decided to pick up Insatiable by Lee Rivers. So I convinced myself that this was like a stalker romance along the lines of Haunted and Hunting Adeline, which I have previously DNF'd, and stalking is my only trigger. Now, it's sometimes hard for me to explain stalking as a trigger, because in horrors and thrillers I don't mind it as much. I think it's in a romantic situation where I can picture myself as the FMC that it gets me. So I think maybe we came to the conclusion that that might be what it is about it that triggers me. So in a thriller and a horror, you know, you generally get a situation maybe where stalking is in it. The killer is stalking their prey, for example. Doesn't bother me as much in that, because I'm expecting it, and I can't picture myself as the FMC or as the main character in that book. I can't picture myself as that person. Whereas in a romance, I can, because I've lived it, which is why it's a trigger. So it's a little bit different. However, obviously in the rom-coms, for example, Lights Out by Navessa Allen, it does have a stalking element to it, but it's a rom-com. Josh is hilarious. He's very aware of what he is doing and very aware of the fact that it's really fucked up what he's doing, and it's funny, you know? I don't know why it doesn't affect me, as maybe it's because it's the funny element and he's like not, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe you will be sat there going, no, I get it. You don't need to explain it. Or maybe you'll be sat there going, none of this makes any sense. Either it's a trigger or it's not. It is. It just depends on the situation. Anyway, I don't know if stalking is even a trigger is even a thing in this. I think maybe obsession, which is a little bit different, but it's not been in the content warnings at the beginning, so I'm hoping that's not the case. But I don't even know the synopsis of this, actually, but we've started off with Kane and Stacey. Kane's 15 years old at the beginning of the book. It's his birthday party, I think, and his twin sister's birthday party. I actually thought they were 13, but Stacey said she was 15, same age as him, so I don't know. So the synopsis for this one says, if he can't have her, no one else can. Cade Mitchell is obsessed with someone he despises. A snake in Angel's skin, Stacey Rhodes is everything he can't forget, a girl who shattered his heart and drove him deep into the darkness of the underworld. He watched her for years, killed anyone who came close to her, but now, granted a brief moment of freedom from the life he's trapped in, he's back home and driven to claim her again, breaking every rule he's ever made for himself. Not even his hatred can stop the pull between them, but he'll never forgive her. Will he? In this dark romance, the author highly recommends reading the content warning page, which I have done, and I'm fine with it. So this is 413 pages. It's not a short book by any stretch of the imagination, but I have got the audiobook, which sounds like a full cast. Teddy Hamilton, I have already come across. He is playing Cade. We also have Lucy Rivers, Shane East, JF Harding, Michelle Sparks, Zara Hampton-Brown, and Roxlana Waters. So it's a full cast narration. Sounds like it's going to be a fantastic time. And yeah, I am currently 13 pages in. I'm not too far in, but I have about 4 hours of the audiobook left. So I'm going to make my way through this for the rest of the day. Hopefully finish that. That would get me to 8 books, and it's day 9 of the month, so I need to find something a little bit shorter maybe to wrap up the day today, because I won't have much time. I'll have a bit in the evening after I've finished my shift at the pub, but I might be knackered again tomorrow when I get home from the pub like I was on Tuesday, so maybe a graphic novel tomorrow. So we'll see what happens, but I am going to make my way through this, see how much I can get through of this, and then see what happens this evening. But I wanted to try and start it first, make sure I'm okay with it before I come on and let you know what I've moved on to. So Insatiable is what I have moved on to. I feel like this is a good time to move on to something else, a different genre, because I've read quite a bit of horror back to back now. So I feel like this, a dark romance, still in the theme. It's horror adjacent-esque. It's dark. So I feel like this is a good shout, and I'm excited to get on with it. There are other romances that I could have picked up that I actually physically own. Abso-fucking-lutely. Has this been on my mind, though, and is now the good time to pick this up? Yes, probably so. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to continue on with this on my Kindle, and I will check back in with you when I have another update for you. Okay, hello. It is 9:20. It's the same day. It's still Thursday. I'm still on Sprints for Jade, and I'm here to update you that I finished another book today. So I finished 2 books today, which is great news. The book that I have finished is Insatiable by Lee Rivers, book 1 in the, what series is this even called? The Edge of, what is it called? The Edge of Darkness trilogy. Melissa Midnight, one of Jay's patrons, has ruined my life. She suggested this to me yesterday, and it was already on my radar heavily, and then her suggestion pushed me to this, so now she's ruined my life. This book was so fucking good. I've really, really enjoyed books in the past, few months this year in general. I've given quite a few books 5 stars. I've fallen in love with characters, etc., etc. And I've really, really enjoyed books. But I haven't had a book in which I have completely and utterly fallen in love with a couple of characters like this since Binding and Keeping 13. With Johnny and Shannon. Now, I don't think I've fallen in love with Cade and Stacey quite so much as I have with Johnny and Shannon, but there's still time. I have 2 more books left. I did not realise that this series just follows those 2 for the most part as the couple, the main couple. I thought we were going to get a book for 3 different couples, essentially. No. Just Cade and Stacey. So in this, we have what is essentially a second chance romance. These lot are kind of young. They're in their early 20s. They're 21. But we get flashbacks to a time when Cade first met Stacey when they were 15. And then we get flashbacks to a few years later where they're kind of in a sneaking around little bit of a relationship type situation. And then we have like current day in which they absolutely fucking hate each other. But it's very clear that there's still something between them. So, and they end up spending a lot of time together because Stacey is best friends with Cade's twin sister, Lucille. So, we also have two friends from Cade's side at base, and I have forgotten the name of his other friend. Des, something like that. And then we've got Lucille, Stacey, and Tracy on the other side. And there's kind of like 3 relationships, if you like, but there's complications with all of them. But for the most part, we're following Stacey and Cade. Now, quite a lot has happened between the flashbacks that we're getting from just a couple of years ago and present day. Between these two, and they are not communicating very well, but I understand. It's not like miscommunication in the most frustrating way. It kind of is. I'm getting to a point where I'm like, just fucking tell him, and I'm saying to her, just fucking I'm saying to him in my head, just fucking tell her, and I'm saying to her, just fucking tell him. But it's miscommunication in the way that there's reasons why they haven't told each other what's been going on. He is pissed at her for a situation that she hasn't had the chance to tell him exactly what happened, and he's completely and utterly misread the situation, and therefore his life changed completely for the worse. And there is so much going on with these two, but I am so fucking invested with them. So invested, and these books literally follow on from each other back to back to back, which is exactly the reason why I need to read them in that way. This is going to put me behind quite significantly, actually, with 31 books in 31 days. I am hopeful that I can get through both of these by the end of the weekend, but I don't know how possible that's going to be, because obviously tomorrow I'm at the pub. I'm working a shift at the pub tomorrow evening. I will have a few hours when I get home from the pub before Andy gets home from work, but I'm probably going to be knackered, and I don't know how well my concentration will be. So we'll have to see with that. And then the weekend, obviously, we will be spending some time together. We'll probably go and see family. For the most part, we don't have anything planned, and I think he will probably want to stay in for a good chunk of the weekend, but I don't know if I've got any shifts at the pub yet. So I don't know how much reading I'm actually going to be able to get done, and I could do with these books really being in the same vlog, I reckon, if I'm binging them. So I don't know, hopefully I'll get through all of them, but that does mean that I need to disappear and get to Voracious as quickly as I possibly can. But I have I haven't run it through Core Power yet, but I am giving Insatiable 5 stars. It was so fucking good, and I am very much so invested in Cade and Stacey. I am also mad at myself for taking so long over choosing to pick this series up, because I did take my sweet time, because I was worried that it was going to be stalking, and it's not in that sense. It kind of is, but it's not in that in the sense that triggers me. So very excited to be picking this up. I may end up giving Lee Rivers, because I'm also interested in the Little Stranger series as well. But again, I've been holding off on it because, again, I don't know if it's stalking or not. But I may give that one a try as well once I've finished this series. We'll see. They're shorter than this series, which is great. But yeah, I've just smashed my way through a over 400-page book in the space of a handful of hours. So that is very exciting. It's very clear how into that book I was. So I'm going to go so that I can get onto Voracious, and I will check in with you and have another update for you. Didn't see my week going this way. God damn. Okay, hello, good morning. It is Friday morning. Actually, it's almost midday. And I've been reading a little bit of Voracious this morning, and I've made it to page 211, about 54% in. So I've got, I think, just shy of 2 hours left of the audio of this. So I will definitely get this finished today. Not before I go to work. I've got another shift at the pub this evening, but when I get back, I will get this finished, and I will get Restitution started. This is a lot darker than book one, significantly darker, because we're getting all of the information drip fed to us in flashbacks of what happened with Stacey and how Cade ended up becoming who he is over the years. And it's really, really dark, and Stacey's situation has gotten significantly darker. So this is a lot a lot more darker than book one, and that was dark in of itself, but we're getting all the gory detail in this one. So still loving this so far. I am furious on Stacey's behalf at the lack of at the amount of people that have let her down that shouldn't have, and yeah, I'm just glad she's at a point now where other people know her situation and they've gotten her out of said situation. I am truly loving this. It's giving me the feelings of Binding and Keeping 13. It's almost like, it's very different, significantly different, but it's almost like an adult version of Binding and Keeping 13. But I'm absolutely loving it. That's the feeling I'm getting from it. I was so invested in the characters in Binding and Keeping 13, and that's how I'm feeling about this book. So yeah, but the main reason I've come on is because I've just gotten a very exciting parcel, and I just literally cannot believe. I'm so excited. They sent me Harper HQ actually sent me a message on Instagram the other day to ask if I would be interested in promoting the book. Oh my God, yes, I would. And it's just come. So if I'm able to do this unboxing without ruining anything to the point that I won't be able to do like a reel or a TikTok on it, then let's do that. Hopefully I can. Ooh. Look how amazing. I literally cannot believe I've ended up with an early copy of this. I'm so fucking excited. I can't tell you, this is one of my most anticipated releases of the year. I'm so fucking excited. Oh, there's two. Oh, look how pretty that is. That is stunning. And on the back it's like a postcard. Oh, stunning. Greetings from the Department of Hauntings and Spirits. I'm so excited to share good spirits with you. It's a step into a brand new world filled with magic, holiday ghosts, and plenty of candy canes. I hope you enjoy getting to know Harriet, our sweet as sugar antique shop owner, and Nolan, our wayward ghost of Christmas past. Their story is deeply personal to me, and I cannot wait to hear what you think. Sending you some early holiday cheer, Bex. I'm definitely reading this month. I don't care that it's a Christmas book. I'm going seeing BK Borison at the end of the month, and the 30th of October, at an event with Sangu Mandana in Liverpool. So I want to have the book read before I go. So I do have a couple of packs of hot chocolate, which is so freaking cute. I got a couple candy canes, one pink, one blue, for Harriet and for Nolan. And then I have a sticker. I'm just a holiday romance girl. Facts. I have a signed book plate. There is a cute ghosty pin. That's adorable. There is a bookmark, one with Harriet. She's not exactly Scrooge. He's the ghost of Christmas past with Nolan. They're so adorable. Oh my God, this book is so pretty. I actually can't believe I'm this lucky. Like, how is this my life? How is this my life? I'm so fucking excited. Holy shit. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. This is a Christmas romance, if you did not know. Nolan Callahan intends to spend this holiday season exactly like every other, haunting the terrible people of Annapolis in his aimless existence as the ghost of Christmas past. Harriet York is a good person, or at least she tries to be. A people pleaser to her core, she always does what's expected of her. So when Nolan is assigned the sweeter than candy canes antique shop owner for his holiday haunting, neither of them have any idea why. To escape one another, Harriet and Nolan must unravel the threads that bind them together, all by Christmas Eve. Hand in hand, they uncover each other's pasts, but why is it that Nolan doesn't want to let go? And might Harriet be the key to giving the ghost of Christmas past a future? I love it. I love it. I'm so excited. Oh God, I'm so excited. Thank you so much to HQ for sending me this parcel. I truly appreciate you. You've made my dreams come true. I'm so excited. How am I this lucky? Honestly, some days this job blows my mind. I just love it. I don't know how I'm this lucky. Thank you so much to HQ for sending me this. Yeah, I'll definitely be doing, I think, actually I'll be doing its own reading vlog. So I'll be reading Good Spirits, a little bit like I did Foot and Charmed with Lucy Jane Wood. I'll be reading Good Spirits, and then I'll go to the event and I'll do it all in one video. So you've got that to look forward to, which is very exciting. I'm so excited. I can't believe I've been lucky enough to get this. So yeah, I just wanted to unbox that with you and give you an update on my book. So I'm going to go. But yeah, very excited about that parcel. Thanks again to HQ. Alrighty, good morning. It is Sunday. I don't think I've updated you for a couple of days. I actually can't remember the last thing I updated you on. It might have been that I was starting, or it may have been a mid-update for Voracious, which is book 2 in the Edge of Darkness trilogy. I think that's the last thing I updated you on, because I didn't update you yesterday and I finished it on Friday night. So I have finished that now. That one was significantly darker than Insatiable, significantly darker. In Insatiable, we got the introduction to our main characters, Stacey and Cade, and we kind of got glimpses into the darkness that they're both going through. In book 2, we got flashbacks of all of that darkness, and it got really, really dark. So in book 3, which I have gone straight into, I'm not that far into at all. I finished book 2 on Friday night, started book 3 so that at least it was started, and I got 33 pages in, so I'm 7% in. This is a much longer one. It's over 500 pages. I don't know what I'm thinking, actually. I really wanted to have 12 books in 12 days done, and I don't think it's going to be possible. I did squeeze another one in between books 2 and 3 of the Edge of Darkness trilogy. Obviously, I gave... I'm all over the place with this update, sorry. Obviously, I gave Voracious 5 stars. It was a higher 5 stars than Insatiable. Voracious is my favourite. Restitution could end up being my favourite of the trilogy. And I will read Psychotic Obsession, but it obviously won't be in this vlog. But I would like to get Restitution finished in this vlog. I really don't want it to branch over into next week's vlog. So hopefully we'll do that, but I've still got 5 hours and 20 minutes left of the audio, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to manage it. The other thing that I have finished since I spoke to you on Friday, at whatever point it was that I did speak to you on Friday, is A Guest in the House by E.M. Carroll. I was looking round my library for something not necessarily short, but something quick-ish to get through. And I forgot I had this, in all honesty, because it was tucked away on one of my lower stacks. So I forgot I'd bought this for spooky season and forgot to put it on my TBR cart. But I did read this one. I finished it this morning. I've given this one 3 stars. It's following this woman whose name is Abby, and she is newlywed. Her husband does have a daughter his wife died, and just things seem to be a little bit weird. I'll read you the synopsis, because I think I missed the point of this completely. So, I used to dream of dragons. Abby is newly married, proud of the life she has built with her husband and stepdaughter, and desperate to believe they will all be happy. But what really happened to her husband's former wife, the artist who no one speaks of? What secrets does their strange house by the water harbour? And what of Abby's old dreams and fears of Lady Grey, the Knight and the Dragons? So this was interesting in the sense from Abby's POV with her stepdaughter, and also Crystal's mother. Crystal is the daughter. Crystal's mother, who passed away, the story that Abby has been told by her husband about that, and then what actually comes out about it. It's really interesting in that side of things, and the kind of flashes that we get of this knight trying to save somebody was interesting as well. But for some reason, I just think I missed the boat on how the two things crossed over, and then exactly what happened at the end. The art was beautiful. It was really, really stunning and very pretty indeed. And I really enjoyed that for the most part it's in black and white, except for certain parts of the story that are in splashes of colour. And I thought that was really interesting, but overall, I think I just completely missed the boat on this one. So I have given it 3 stars. I am glad that I've read it, because I've been wanting to read this one for a really long time, and I ended up treating myself to it a couple of months ago, I think right before Egypt. So I'm glad I have read that one, and that did get me up to 10 books. So Restitution will be my 11th book, but as I say, I don't know if I'm going to hit that 12 books in 12 days, and I'm really sad about it. unless I can like absolutely fly. I mean, there's no way that I can speed up restitution again. I'm on 2.5 times speed, and I already like heavily have to concentrate on that. It's quite fast. So I've got 5 hours and 20 minutes of that left to go. Maybe I could squeeze a volume of Blood on the Tracks in when I get in bed later. Maybe, we'll see. But I need to focus on restitution today, and it's already 25 to 12. Andy's nipped out to go and get food for Sunday dinner. I'm hopeful that maybe I can get a decent dent of reading in today, but I don't know. It will depend, because obviously I only really see Andy now on the weekend, and he might want to. We've been watching Lioness, and he might want to continue on with that. However, he is partway through the Ed Gein one, so maybe he can watch that, and I'm not watching that one. I also did get a parcel the other day from Little Brown. So I thought I would show you these very quickly while I'm on as well. Try and be as quick as I can so that this update isn't too long. I got some popping candy and an eyeball sweet. I got this for Something in the Walls by Daisy Pierce, which is really weird because I'm sure that I have this. It says coming on the 10th of Feb 2026, and I can request it on NetGalley, but I'm sure I already have this on my Kindle. I don't know how that's happened unless it's come out on Kindle already. Oh yeah, paperback Feb 26. Okay, fair enough. Then I do have this little bookmark, and on the back it's got this Run For It collection. I don't know if I applied for this collection or not, I'm not sure. But the 3 books that have come and their release dates are Moonflow by Bitter Corella. I don't know anything about this at all, but it looks cool. I see something out there in the woods. It does not have a face. They call it the King's Breakfast. 1 bite and you can understand the full scope of the universe. 1 bite and you can commune with forgotten gods beyond human comprehension. Sarah is a trans woman who makes her living growing mushrooms. When a bad harvest leaves her in desperate fix, the lure of the King's Breakfast has her journeying into the vast uncharted woods where it grows. But as she descends deeper, she realises she's not alone. Something in the forest is waking up. It's hungry and it wants her. Moonflow is Bitter Corella's debut horror novel. A gloriously queer psychedelic trip into the heart of an eldritch woods and the terrors of sisterhood. CIS, sisterhood. Interesting. Eric LaRocca, deranged and gleefully weird as fuck. Okay, amazing. So this one came out in September. Then I do have the Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre by Philip Fracassi. I already have an e-arc of this one, but I haven't picked it up yet, and I really should have by now. So that's terrible of me. But this one says, burgeoning with dark humour, violence and mystery, the Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre is a blood-soaked slasher, sure to keep readers flinching, laughing and guessing until the very last page. Rose Dubois is not your average final girl. Rose is in her late 70s, living out her golden years at the Autumn Springs retirement home. When one of her friends dies alone in her apartment, Rose isn't too concerned. Accidents happen, especially at this age. Then other residents drop dead, and another. With bodies stacking up, Rose can't help but wonder, are these accidents old age or something far more sinister? Together with her best friend Miller, Rose begins to investigate. The further she digs, the more convinced she becomes. There's a killer on the loose at Autumn Springs, and if she isn't careful, Rose may be their next victim. I've seen a review of this recently that says it's like the Thursday Murder Club, but more of a slasher. So like the Thursday Murder Club meets Scream, and it sounds fantastic, sounds right up my street, I've got to be honest. So again, this came out in September, at the end of September, and I will be prioritising this month for sure. And then the last one that I've got comes out this month in October. I don't know when, if it's already out maybe, but this is The Feeding by A.J. Ryan. I think I have another book, but yeah, I do. Red River 7 by A.J. Ryan on my shelves. A nerve-shredding horror novel where humans are no longer the top of the food chain. Oh shit. Layla has spent her entire life in the Red Doubt, one of the last bastions of humanity in a ravaged world. She's never been beyond Red Doubt's walls. Only crossers with their special training and survival skills are permitted to venture into the shadow-haunted wasteland. When Layla's father... Layla. When Layla's father falls ill, she knows she needs to find a cure, but no such medicine can be found within the Redoubt. Instead, her only chance is to pass a series of grueling trials to become a crosser, and then to strike out into the wilderness where the feeders are. Interesting. Craig DeLuise said it's a riveting ride. Philip Facrassi said it's maddeningly entertaining. Interesting. Oh, this has got like really large text in it compared to Philip Facrassi's that's got tiny text. Yeah, this one comes out in October. So thank you very much to Little Brown for sending me these and the cute little sweets and fun bits as well. I truly appreciate it. Can't remember if I applied for this or not, but thank you very much regardless. Very exciting indeed. Some more horror to put on my TBR, which is stunning. Exactly what I needed for this month. So love that for me. Thank you very much to them. I truly appreciate it. I'm going to get going because I really need to get through this bad boy. And I've got a couple of TikToks I need to edit as well. So I think I'm going to do those first and then settle in to get this done. So I will check back in with you. If I have something to update you on throughout this book, I just keep trying to get through them because once I'm in it, that is it. I am sucked in, I'm locked in and I do not want to be interrupted. So I'm hoping that I manage that with this today. I feel a little bit overwhelmed with how much of the book I've still got left to go. 5 hours and 20 minutes is so much time. And I do have like the whole day, but I don't know if I do have the whole day because I would like to not ignore Andy the whole day. After saying that, I spent all day with him yesterday. Went to go and visit with Matt and Tara. Tara was at work. Matt and the kids. My parents were there, so that was nice. We got to see them all. So we saw them for about an hour, and then we went to go and see his mum and his stepdad, and his sister turned up with his niece and her partner. So that was nice. We saw like the whole family yesterday, except for my sister-in-law, which is a shame. But we did get to see pretty much the whole immediate family yesterday, which was really nice. And then when we got back, we did end up nipping to the pub that I now work at we were supposed to go for a couple of drinks, but we were having such a good time. The girls that were behind the bar, I knew they're the girls that I've been doing a bit of training with. So we just kind of hung out there for a little bit. Then Wigan came on, the rugby. We weren't going to watch it. Andy's no interest in rugby and I have a slight interest in it. We weren't going to watch it. We ended up staying for the whole game. So before we knew it, it was like 9 o'clock before we were coming home and having tea. So we had tea. We tried to watch an episode of Lioness. Andy passed out on the couch. So I then came to bed. But I was just feeling... what I should have done really is picked up Restitution and should have just done like an hour or two of that. What I did instead was doom scroll on my phone for 2 hours. And I'm really fucking mad at myself for not prioritising reading. So yeah, didn't get any reading done yesterday. Then this morning when I woke up, I did prioritise finishing A Guest in the House so that was done at least. But now I need to prioritise getting the TikToks done and then Restitution. So I'm going to go and I'm going to do that. But I just wanted to give you an update on what we did yesterday. It was lovely. It was a really nice afternoon. On the basis that I've barely seen him this week, it was really, really nice. I know it seems silly because he's home in the morning until like he leaves for work about 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock-ish. But he's been enjoying his mornings and like lying in. So he's not getting out of bed till like 11. So I'm seeing him for maybe an hour, at which point we have lunch, catch up on the previous day, and then he's gone. So, you know, I'm not getting a great deal of time with him at the moment, and it's sad. So it was nice to spend the day with him yesterday and enjoy our afternoon. But today I could really do with locking in on this book. But again, if he wants to spend a bit more time and watch some more episodes of Lioness, I might end up doing it. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going to go and I will check back in with you and have an update for you. Good morning, it is Monday and I'm here to wrap this reading vlog up. I can't believe this vlog has been going on for 12 days. It's felt like it's gone on for so long. I didn't quite manage the 12 books in 12 days. However, I'm not too salty about it because I have DNF'd a couple of books this week, well, in the last 12 days as well. So I'm not too mad about it, and also I have read a couple of chunkier books than I was anticipating, like Restitution, for example, was 524 pages, Insatiable was 413 pages, so I've read some chunkier books than I was expecting because I wasn't expecting to binge that whole series. That wasn't my intention. So let's very quickly run through exactly what it was that I read over the last 12 days and then let you know my thoughts on Restitution and where I finished up last night. So I did start off the 12 days with The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James, which I gave 4 stars. Glad that I finally finished this one because this has been on my TBR for so long. And I actually really enjoyed it in the end. Now that I've given it a second chance, I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm very excited to continue on with more books from Simone St. James because that's the second 4 star she's got from me. Then I did DNF Mayfly by CJ Lead. This wasn't for me. I can absolutely 100% tell you that this was not for me, and that's absolutely fine. I did read Hot for Slayer by Ali Hazelwood, and I gave this one 3 stars. Don't know if I'm a fan of novellas, romance novellas specifically. I haven't read any other previous romance novella collections. I don't know if Ali Hazelwood can do romance novellas anyway. I have read one from her before, from her collection. Is it Loath to Love You collection? And then I didn't read the rest. I gave it like 1 star. I hated it. It was horrible. So 3 stars for that one. And then Falling by Christina Lauren, I gave 2.5 stars. Didn't like that one either. Then I did read Below by Laurel Hightower. Loved this. This was terrifying. And I gave it 4.5 stars. It was so good. And I'm definitely going to be picking up more from Laurel Hightower. That's the second book from Laurel. So be picking up more from her for sure. Then I read Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees by Patrick Horvath, which is a graphic novel. I believe there is a second one on its way out as well, which is interesting. So I gave this one 3.5 stars. It did exactly what it said on the tin, and it was fine. I liked it. I did DNF 8114 by Joshua Hull as well. That's another book that I did DNF this week. I just wasn't having a good time with the writing style. It was taking a while to get into the creepiness, and then once it got to the creepiness, that was way too much body horror for me. So body horror is something that is outside of my comfort zone, and on occasion it works. For example, The Eyes Are the Best Part, it worked in that for me, but in this one, it's just gotten, it went too far. In the very first instance that it was on page, it went too far and I wasn't having a good time, so I did DNF that one. Then I picked up Aria of the Beach Forest Volume 3, and I gave this one 3.5 stars. I think that this could have been extended. I reckon that this volume alone could have been another 2 volumes on top of this one. I think that the author has crammed a lot into this that could have been expanded to make another 2 volumes and make this maybe a 5-volume series. So I do think that that is a shame, but it is what it is. I gave it 3.5 stars. It was a fun series while it lasted. Then I read We Live Here Now by Sarah Pinborough, and I really enjoyed this. I had a very good time with it, and I gave this one 4.5 stars. I've got my core pile open so I can remember because my memory is shit, and also I've just got up. 4.5 stars for this one. This was really, really good. Very cleverly done. And I really enjoyed the audiobook. Very, very smart. And I really had a good time with this one. And then I moved into the Edge of Darkness trilogy. So I started off with Insatiable by Lee Rivers, and I gave this one, naturally, 5 stars. I really loved this series. It was so good, and I truly wasn't anticipating binging this series. And if I was anticipating binging it, I wasn't anticipating binging them back to back to back. I don't do that, and there is a reason for it. And the reason is that because of my ADHD, I can get very bored of being in the same world for a long period of time. Now, when did I start the series? I started out on the 9th, so I was only in the world for 3 days. Is that correct? 4 days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 days. I managed to binge the whole series in 4 days, which actually is relatively impressive because I read another book in between that as well. So quite proud of myself for doing that. 3 books in a series in 4 days, of which 2 of them were over 400 pages, one of which was over 500. So, you know, it's pretty good going, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, sometimes I struggle to do it, and that's why I don't do it very often. But I just couldn't put these books down. It was the same with like Binding and Keeping 13. The minute I realised that we were following the same characters in the next book, I had to continue because I needed to know what was going to happen next. I needed to know everyone was okay. And it was the same in this series. So 5 stars for Insatiable, then 5 stars for Voracious, which is my favourite in the series so far. It's a lot darker. It takes a much darker turn in Voracious. We get to know the ins and outs of both Cade and Stacey's situation separately, but also together, and what led them to where they are now. And it is traumatic. It is so traumatic. And I did shed a couple of tears during Voracious. Then I did break Voracious and Restitution up a little bit with A Guest in the House by E.M. Carroll. And this one I gave 3 stars. I thought it was fine. I loved the illustrations. I loved the artwork. But I think I missed the point of this completely. The ending wasn't quite satisfying for me, and I don't know if that's just a me thing. It probably is, but yeah, 3 stars for this one. And then last but by no means least, book 11 in 12 days was Restitution, which I gave 5 stars. This was my lowest rated of the series, which I might shock some people because I think it's a lot of people's favorite in the series. And I think for me at this point, again, with my ADHD, it had only been 4 days, to be fair. Like, it's not been a week or a couple of weeks. It's only been 4 days. But I think for me, I'd been in the series for too long. I'd been with the characters for a little bit too long, which is why I tried to break it up with A Guest in the House. But I also started it on the 10th and then I binged the rest of it yesterday. So I got like 33 pages in on the 10th and then binged the rest of it yesterday. I didn't touch it at all on Saturday, and that break might have dragged me out of it a little bit too long. I will also say as well, like, it wasn't stupidly smutty in this one because we're coming out of the other side of everything, and we're trying to resolve everything and get to a point where everybody is safe. I'm trying not to say too much, but so there's a lot of trauma from this one, a lot of recovery, and a lot of really going through the shit, honestly. And in this one, I will say the smut was less in this one because it plays a huge part in the relationship and the trauma and everything from both of the characters. But I think that it could have been even more less once they'd got going again. The book probably could have been under like 500 pages. I just felt it went on maybe a little bit too long. And that's probably just a me thing. That's probably just because I've been in the series for so long, and it's probably just me. I can probably guarantee that, to be fair. But this series overall has been a 5-star series for me, and it has become a new favourite series. I desperately want some information, even if it's just a short story. I desperately want more information on Base and Lucella, Ella. Let's just call her Ella, shall we? Luciella, that's how you pronounce it, Luciella. I desperately want more information on Base and Luciella's story, and would love even just a novella from Lee about those two, because I was invested in that as well. I know a lot of people aren't, but I was. So I would love more information on that. I am going to pick up Psychotic Obsession at some point during this month. I don't know if I'll go straight into it in the next vlog, but I am going to pick that up because I would like to read more about Tobias and Arya. There was a moment yesterday where I was sat on the couch because I continued on with my book while Andy was watching Scream just after tea before the dance started, and he naturally ended up nodding off, so I just finished the book off while the dance started. And there was a moment where I punched the air and I was like, yes, and Andy shit himself and he was like, what the fuck is going on? If you know, you know, in Restitution. And this series, it was just so fucking good. I think I mentioned earlier on in this vlog that this is like the adult version of Binding and Keeping 13. It absolutely isn't. But the feelings that it gave me, it was like I was super invested in Cade and Stacey, and I really, really needed to know what was going to happen. Like, I was so invested in them, like I am with Johnny and Shannon. And I would like to be able to see them again. I would like to, like I say, get more books maybe surrounding this world. So Base and Luciella, I feel like could be a good place to go with this. Maybe if, so like, I don't know if Psychotic Obsession actually it was done after or before this series. That would be interesting to know. 2025. Okay, so she's going back and giving us more from these characters, which is great. So we do get Tobias and Arya after the events of everything that's happened in the Edge of Darkness trilogy. So I would like to get more from this world. I feel like it will be fascinating. Maybe the kids. I don't know if they would necessarily want their kids to grow up in this world though. I don't know if Base has much of a choice, which is interesting, but which is why I would like to know more. I would like to know more about his situation because it does get extremely complicated by the end of the first book. By the end of the third book. But yeah, I would love to spend more time in this world, as traumatic as it was. It's fascinating and I just really, really loved it. So yeah, 5 stars for the Edge of Darkness trilogy. Didn't anticipate reading the whole of that this month at all. I have like an entire TBR cart with over 50 books on it. And I have been taking books off it, but more books have come in since. And what did I do? I binged an entire series on Kindle Unlimited. Didn't anticipate doing that. I did just very quickly want to mention so that you know what's coming up in the next vlog as the first book, but I started last night the Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre by Philip Fracassi, and I did get a reasonable chunk of the way in. Actually, I got to part 3, which is The Little Green Men, and that is around 65 pages in. So I made it a reasonable way in, and I am already enjoying this, I will tell you that much. Other than that, I'm not going to tell you much more because it will be in the next vlog. There's no point. I've already read the synopsis out to you when I hauled this book, probably the clip before this. So I'm not going to tell you much more than that. Just wanted to let you know that that's where I'll be starting in the following vlog. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I don't know how long this is going to end up. I know that the point at which I'd edited to, it was already 55 minutes, and I think I filmed another like 4 or 5 clips since then, and they've not been short. So it could end up being like a 2-hour vlog. I don't know. I'm going to try and get this edited so that it can export before I start sprints with patrons at 1. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Chat to me in the comments down below. Have you read any of these books? Do you have any recommendations for me based off of these? I would like some more Simone St. James recommendations. That would be great. And Laurel Hightower as well. I don't know where to go from here because A Crossroads and Below are the books that I've heard about from her, but I don't know where to go from here with her. So if you have any recommendations, that would be fantastic. But chat to me in the comments down below, and I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye for now.